Fall from the heavens, they fall from the sky and walk the streets among mortal men. They hide in shadows, keepers of the night. Mortal life is brief, can't hold back the demons. The blood pours as rain, and soon you'll be alone. Stand by my side, we'll face the night. Descending angel, who guard the gates of hell. One more night, ooh, forever and tonight. Born or created in the image of a God, the heavens fall, no Savior has been sent. There's no one to guide us, so alone we face the night. Mortal life is brief for the rebel angel. He takes his final stand, soon you'll be alone. Descending angel, stand by my side, we'll face the night. Descending angel, who guard the gates of hell. Just one more night, oh, forever and tonight. Descending angel,
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in, checking out what's happening. That video that you just saw was recorded. I was on the road with Marky Ramone in South America. It was a South American show that we were doing. Maybe Brazil. Great song. Descending Angel. Jerry only wrote that song. It really shows the power of collaboration. That was a tremendous song. All right, so I want, first of all, thank everybody. I'm going to tell you a story about Jerry Only. I'm going to show you the artwork to the One Man Road Show, the winter tour that's coming up. The response has been fantastic ever since I was last on here. Of course, something's bound to go wrong, I'm sure. But people have been reaching out to booking at officialmichaelgraves.com. A bunch of dates have been added. There's been like a San Angelo show in Texas, Rochester, New Hampshire, Syracuse, Virginia Beach, Thomasville, North Carolina, Gastonia, North Carolina, Chapel Hill, Wilmington, North Carolina, Sherman, Dixon, going to see my friends in Illinois, San Angelo, Houston. I'll be back at the Daiquiri Leaf. We're going to party at Fort Walton Beach. The One Man Road Show. I'll show you the artwork to it. I'll talk about the artwork. The acoustic show coming up next Saturday is one of my main focuses. There's so many different things going on. So if I seem frazzled, I am. It's like trying to keep 9 balls up in the air. And I haven't been like this in this mindset in a while. I'm hyper focused. I have a lot that I want to do. I have a lot that I want to accomplish. I'm putting a lot of things down on paper, things that I was working on years ago. Worst day of my life video that I've always wanted to make for a song that I just think never had its day to shine. There's a lot of songs like that. That's one of them. But I wrote this video for it years ago. And when I was on the road last on the Things to Come acoustic tour, this woman came up to me. She's like, you have to make that video. When are you going to make that video? Because I came online once and I went over the whole thing. So that video is going to be made. Thanks, Curtis. Yeah, there's Nick. Nick, I was just talking about the videos. Nick's going to help me out. It takes me a while to get to things because there's so many things. And there's not a lot of people to delegate that responsibility to. But that's the point. Again, doing what I'm doing next week, the acoustic show. I should have the artwork. Stupid. The artwork, the acoustic show next week. Online. It's kind of a test run for things that I want to do in the future and that I'm building towards. So next week is going to be like a proof of concept for me, especially as I work through all of the different all right, there it is on your screen. This online thing that I'm doing. I'm gonna perform live. It's gonna sound awesome, I promise. I'm gonna play all sorts of cool stuff. December 23rd. It's Saturday at 3 p.m. If you go to the website, there's a link there, and you click on the ticket link. A bunch of you have. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. I know who you are. I'm on the other end of it here. Thank you. The generosity and the love and the support that I have been getting from some of you, has just been unbelievable. And the outpouring of support and love, and we got your back is awesome. It's awesome because I'm building towards something. I'm building. With these online things, this is going to be pretty much a simple sort of acoustic thing, right? Simple. But what I want to build towards is eventually having much grander, complex broadcasts. There's something about live that I love. You know, it's like walking on the tightrope, sort of. But even pre-recorded stuff, whatever. The point is, I want to get back into and broadcasting, and with the ability of being behind the video and not it necessarily being live on stage. There are so many things that I want to do. So I'm starting off with this here next week, Saturday. And this is also a fundraiser, as I've been saying. This is a fundraiser especially because Christmas is in a week. I'm not going to go into the boohoo, because everybody's hurting, everybody's struggling, everybody's trying. And another reason why it's so amazing, the outpouring of support from some of you. I'm not going to say people's names online because I don't know if that's cool, but wow. Thank you. You know who you are. You have delivered a much happier, calmer, merrier Christmas than what I believe we were going to experience 48 hours ago. That's for sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So go to the website, and there's a link there that you can click onto. I'll get more into that because that's pretty much the main reason I wanted to come on here, other than to say thank you and tell you some story about Jerry Only, and not necessarily Descending Angel, the video that I played for you there that I have in the archives. But so officialmichaelgraves.com is where you want to go to check out the December 23rd live online acoustic performance. Help me out. Join in. There'll be a chat that you can live chat all the way through. I'm going to play mostly. I'll be able to obviously communicate with you, but I'm going to play mostly. That's December 23rd. It's 3:00 in the afternoon, depending on where you are. officialmichaelgraves.com, and that will take you to the ticket link. And then you get your ticket. You'll get an email back from me, and it'll give you a link in return so that you can watch the broadcast. Yes, the list of the tour dates are coming to the website soon for sure. I just finished making a list and putting the hyperlinks into it. And as I was doing it, John got in touch with me and confirmed another one. And there's Andy. God bless you, Andy. Thank you. Your whole family. Thank you very, very much. God bless you guys. I appreciate it so much. I love you guys. I cannot wait to see you very, very soon. Your favorite Zombie says that I'm his favorite male singer. All right. Yeah. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you. Putting up comments right now. The New Hampshire show just got confirmed. Um, I'll tell you when it is. The New Hampshire show. Let's see if it's on my list. Rochester, New Hampshire, at Performing Arts. So it's February 2nd is the New Hampshire show. I will see everybody there that's in New Hampshire, or maybe just you. Thank you very much, Motorhead. My favorite and least favorite song I've ever done. These are hard questions when people start asking me about favorite songs and least favorite songs, because I don't know how to categorize it. I don't know how to attribute why I would. There's so many different variables of to why I wouldn't like a song. I think my least favorite song, what pops in my head when I think what is my least favorite song that I've ever done, and it's just not my thing. It's not that it's necessarily a bad song, because I know a lot of people dig. I think it's 1 million years BC. 1 billion years BC. 1 billion years BC. Famous Monsters. Not my favorite song. Probably my least favorite song, I think. But not because it's a bad song. It's just not my. It's just not my thing. The phrasing in it is difficult for me, and I don't know. I never felt like I was able to get along with that song. My favorite song. My favorite song might be I Don't Want to Be a Superhero. It's on the Roadrunner United record. Love that tune. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, this is great. See, this is what I'm saying. Vril loves it. Not my favorite song. There's a lot of people, they love that song. I'm just not it. I'm not going to dress up as Santa this year. I don't even think I have a hat. Things have been so insane. I can't, especially this past week or so, things have really taken off, because it's like, you'll see, I'll show you the artwork to the One Man Road show that starts in February. It going to start in, I guess it's starting in New Hampshire. We're going to kick it off. And then it's New Hampshire, and then it's Syracuse. And then it's going to roll on. And all sorts of shit's going to happen along the way. And what I mean by that is I'm going to stream things. I'm going to create videos. There's going to be a lot more Michael Graves content. There's going to be a lot more colors. There's going to be a lot more sides of things, these projects that I've been wanting to do, releasing videos, creating the videos, showing you behind the scenes videos of because I love that. I love that stuff. The bands that I love, or the artists that I love seeing, and I always have, like, the behind the scene things, but not necessarily just the techniques in it, unless it's interesting, but the thought process behind the creation itself, the how and the why. And that's going to tie into the story I'm going to tell you about Jerry Only, what I learned from Jerry Only at the end here. And I won't bring it too long, so stand by. So the One Man Road show, a couple of years ago, I kind of touched on this idea of bringing a spoken word, acoustic, visual type show to the stage. Something that wasn't just a bunch of songs and then I leave, which is fine. I'm a theater kind of guy, so I want to use the whole stage and so I forget what the name of the tour was, but I played a set and I told the story of walking through the woods, and along the way there was all these different things that I encountered, and the images behind me correlated to the stories I was telling and the music that I was playing. And Arturo would stand on the side of the stage, and sometimes he would speed would speed the video up. You know, if I was a little behind, he would tweak it. So and that was the idea. There were little cues that we put in the video so that I would know where I was, and then I could like catch up or go slower. It started to come together really, really in an excellent way. And then I just dropped the ball and never built upon that in which we had been doing until now. That idea is now going to be built upon, which is now going to be called the one man road show. Right now, it's the story of on the last tour. One of the things that I was doing on the last tour, and I keep saying this because it's true, to develop, and for you younger artists as well, this is what you have to do. That's why it's so good to just take every opportunity you can to play and to perform. Because I tried to take every opportunity that I had on the last tour to play, to test some material, tell stories, and to do things and watch the reaction of the crowd and the people that were watching, if they liked it, or pay attention to when people come up to me. I ask them what they like about the show, or they tell me the things that they like about the show, or they comment on the stories that I've told. And that goes to heart. I just don't get in my car and I'm just like, to the next part. Like, I'm paying attention. It might not look like it sometimes, the look on my face, whatever. But I really, really am. I'm paying attention to everybody's mood, everything that's said to me. I really am. And so I was telling the one story about being in New York City with my parents when I was younger, with my brothers and sisters, and seeing the homeless person that I never saw before. Like, I never saw homeless people before. And that changing my heart, because I went, and changing my heart and what I wanted to do in my life, and how I believed I could be effective in the world, and just what made me feel like me and what I wanted to pursue. After I saw that whole experience, I went home and I wrote a song on this little ritzy guitar that my mom got me. This red guitar, this red electric guitar. Yeah. And I was young, but I was so into music. Everybody, I love being a musician. I was thinking about this yesterday as I was coming home from running errands. When I was younger, multi-tracking, I loved recording. I still love recording more than anything. I so badly want to expand this studio that you see here. I'm basically in a corner. Some of you remember when I was in the barn. Parts of my operation are moving back to the barn, but anyway, but nowadays it's so easy. It's so easy to record a song or to record anything, really. But to multi-track, it's a simple thing. When I was young, I would wire two stereos together. Like, I would record one thing on a cassette tape and then play it, and then pump that audio out to another stereo while trying to get a signal over that, because I didn't have any money for a 4-track or an 8-track. Those things are expensive. So I would wire stereos together. I was just obsessed with sound, and even just like syncing sound to video was like, I loved doing. I would record the audio off the television of shows that I liked, like Alf and Different Strokes, Gilligan's Island. I would record the shows on VHS, on my VCR, and then I would play them back on the and I would record the audio on this little tape recorder that I had. And I would record it, and then I would play it back on the VCR and watch, and I'd press play and I would sync it. And I just thought it was the most amazing thing. It's poor man's dubbing. Totally, man. Argentina. Hello, Nacho Speaks. I'll be back in Argentina soon. God bless you and your fellow countrymen. I know you guys are going through a lot, as the whole world is. certainly here in America. So, but I think some Argentinian promoters just reached out not too long ago. So, zombie tour bus. Yeah. You know, I always imagine I got this idea for a video game that came to me. Something else that popped in my mind. Some video games that had reached out to me. But I someone should make a video game about touring. It's like it would be just like Grand Theft Auto, except it would revolve around a touring band, and you can be the you're in the band. You drive the tour bus, and you're like up on stage, and there's people jumping on you, and you got to stay on your feet. I don't know. I just thought it would be good. Samantha in the psych ward. Man, I forgot that even existed. So yeah. So I love music. So the one man road show is going to be me telling this story and other stories of how this all started with my relationship really with God and me discovering, I was raised Catholic. So I discovered Jesus very early on. Religion was big in my family. I'm no longer a Catholic. But when I was younger, I wanted to be a preacher, not a priest. And it's a whole other story. And I went to Catholic school for a few years, and we could talk about that at a later date. But that day in New York City, when I came home, I was a different person. And like I was saying on the road, I would tell the story. It's like the story of the Buddha when he sees the bird come down and grab the worm, the compassion he has for the worm. It was like that. I was looking at the least of these. This guy didn't have anything. I couldn't believe people were just walking by him. I didn't know how to bring that into the world. I didn't know how to bring my compassion, my empathy into that and communicate it out. And so I went home and I wrote a song that day. And that's why music and art is so important. Songs, music, obviously attached to visuals as well. But the interpretation of music, because and I always go, like a song that means something to me might not mean the same thing to you. When I play Crying on Saturday Night, I guarantee you it is not the same experience for me, not just because I'm playing it. I'm just saying the interpretation of what I'm going through emotionally. When you hear that song, it's a whole different thing. It's a spell, abracadabra. Those words, all of a sudden, they do something to you. Different than me and different than him and her and all those guys. And it's so important. It's so important. I know a lot of you who pay attention understand that I'm caught up in the, in the news and the politics and the culture war. Really. I'm dead smack in the middle of it. I'm the canary in the coal mine. This canary's died many times in the coal mine. That's why it's built back. I've been building back for years. I don't have to tell you, well, at least some of you. I'm preaching to the choir. On a later broadcast, I'm going to go through it. A lot of people ask me when I'm on the road, and I haven't really said anything in this sort of space about my involvement in January 6th and testifying and all that. But this is not the time. It's important because there's a culture thing happening here. But I'm not making music or any of this stuff for the left or the right or the center or the middle or the up or the down. I don't make music for big people or small people, or I sound like Dr. Seuss. But the point that I'm trying to make is that I make music for everybody. I didn't know who that guy was that was laying in the stairwell. I didn't know who he was. I didn't care. I just cared for him. It was love. I had compassion for him. It's a very human thing. And as we are in this physical thing and all of the physical part of what we're doing and the battles that we're fighting and the things that we're going through, there's a spiritual element to it that music tends to, that music speaks to, that music resonates with. And you can't get to that part of you unless you do it with music. And movement's very important. It's all lights up in the same part of your brain. It's magical. So I continue to believe I don't want to build a news station, right? I don't want a news organization. You know, I want to, and I've been trying to, I want to build something musical and artsy and that's going to entertain and inform, but something that's expressive, something as well that's going to give an outlet for other creative people who want to put their individuality into the messages or the expressions that come from them. They want to put that out into the world. A lot of us artists, we don't even necessarily know why. And it's, I think in trying to understand that why, like, why do I, or do you, or a lot of these other musicians that I've toured with and worked with, why do we feel that we have to continue to go out? Why do we feel compelled to create like this? And then it goes, and so in answering that question, you come up with, and if you're introspective, there's a lot that can be mined out of that question and can be found out. I'm going to tell you more about the One Man Road Show, but oh, there it is. Oh, that was just a teaser. But before I do, go to officialmichaelgraves.com. On Saturday, I'm going to do an online performance, and the ticket money is going to go to all the things around here that it needs to go to, but as well building this thing that I'm talking about. It's going to go to merchandise for the road. It's going to go to hotels for the road. It's going to go to strings. It's going to go to projections and projectors and screens. It's going to go to all of the things that are going to build this vision that I have. And I thank you very, very much, everybody, for all the support and all the love and all the things that everybody's doing. I appreciate it. I thought for a second the stream had been nuked. I'm in New York State. I live on a farm. So if the wind blows hard, which it was, it looks very calm out there now. We had just gone through a storm. Just show you pictures of the creek. It's insane. But officialmichaelgraves.com. Go to officialmichaelgraves.com and there's a ticket link and check that out. That's Saturday. That's next week. Well, it's this coming Saturday. It's December 23rd at 3 p.m. Go check that out, please. I appreciate everybody that has, and a lot of you have. It's incredible. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to show you the artwork to. This is what the One Man Road Show one sheet, if you will. This is one of them. I colored a couple of them different, but this is pretty much the key art. I know it's kind of dark. It's kind of sad. Let me know in the comments if you know what film this was taken from. Boom. Somebody's like, I know. I guess that was an easy question. But no, it's not a parody because it's not necessarily funny. The point is the feeling behind the one man roadshow and the story that I'm telling is much like the story. Now, all my heathen friends are going to freak out, but the story in the Bible about the prodigal son. The point is that when you are at your lowest, this is like this individual is certainly at a very low point. We all have to make a decision. Everything is free will. Everything is a decision. And you can lay there on the ground and just stare at the ground like that. You could. You could get up and just get back to it. You can get up and you can get back to it. That's what the one man roadshow acoustic tour is going to be about. It's about getting back up and getting to it, no matter what. No matter what. Knowing that there's going to be days like that again soon at some point. And most of us are probably going to feel like that again. But the songs that we hear and the stories that we tell each other and the support that we give certainly makes it better. But that's the point of One Man Roadshow. And this art, it looks sad, but indeed, you got to get back up and get on with things. So there it is. All right. And there's going to be a lot more as I develop that. As I develop the One Man Road Show, I've really been focusing on this next week on Saturday, putting this all together and walking through the different steps of this so that I can understand it in a way that's going to help me be more effective in bringing you other things as well that I have in my mind. Fun productions and things that you can watch online, especially when I'm out on the road. Again, just a way to continue to generate money here at Michael Graves, because man, it's been a crazy, tough couple of years. And I'm not saying that, a lot of it's been me, but a lot. And when I mean that, when I'm saying that, a lot has been me, because there's been so much. It's been so difficult, whether it was health issues or personal issues, or public things. The whole canceling and losing everybody that was working with me and for me, and so you get that. You get that. Even on the last tour, it was that. I tell you guys about, in Ohio, it was like, that was me. And that's why I created that art like that, because I had the idea for a certain key art that I wanted to do. I actually made a bunch of sketches for it, and they were horrible. I played around even with some AI art programs to try to get it to a point where I can then show in a real artist, a living, breathing artist. And I was like, shit, I can't, nothing was coming together. So I was watching Joker last week, and this scene is right in the beginning of the movie. I was like, there it is. That's it. That's it. And so that's the key art. So there you go. Dr. Mad, how you doing? Will I come back to Michigan? Sure. I'll come back to Michigan at some point. let me know. Probably on the way back around. On the, I'm going to go anywhere and everywhere that I'm invited, and I could find an opportunity, and anywhere along the way that that makes sense for the tour. All right, let me tell you this story about Jerry. If any of you haven't watched Dee Snider or John Denver, Frank Zappa's testimony to Congress in, I think it was 1985, the PMRC hearings, you got to go watch it at some point. At least Dee Snider. Watch Dee Snider's opening. Just watch the whole thing. You just put it into YouTube. You'll be able to see it. And as everybody knows out there, if you've ever bought a CD, it has the little parental guidance thing on some of them, like the explicit lyrics thing on it. When I was in the Misfits, when we were making American Psycho, it was a time there was a lot of, like, Marilyn Manson was huge, 9 Inch Nails. There was a lot of, Howard Stern, like the whole shock thing was big, like shocking, like shock jocks and shock rock music, where you would see stuff and just be like, oh my God. You saw Marilyn Manson and the stuff that he was doing, just like, oh my God, like, what the hell? And they'd gore and like crazy sex stuff. And you're just like, what the fuck is this, man? And that's where you'd get the reaction from. Like, that's what, I was young when I joined the Misfits. I was 21 years old when we were making American Psycho. So it was a generational thing, for me. And I saw that in the culture and in the music. And so I emulated some of it, or at least I wanted to emulate some of it. And when it came time to, when I was the lead singer of that band and I was trying to stand out, part of what would pop in my mind was, all right, I'll be shocking. And then this way, being shocking like that, both visually and lyrically, will get the attention of people. And, well, there you go. Jerry said there's going to be no cursing. We're not cursing on this album. And there's going to be nothing that is going to get us an advisory sticker. We're not doing that. And when he first said that, I thought, like, what are you talking about? This guy must be old. He's old. And why would you do that? Didn't make sense to me. And I disagreed with it. I'll give you an example. And Helena, when you listen to Helena, the original lyric is raped and displayed. And that would have gotten us, just that line would have gotten us a parental advisory sticker. And we as a band, we're not going to do that. And I was like, bullshit. So we changed it to draped and displayed, as an example. And I hated it. Like, I hated it. I remember hating it and saying that I hated it. It's like, this doesn't make any sense to me, man. Why we got to do this? And Jerry said to me that I had to use my brain. He says, you got to use your brain. It's easy to do that. He said, it's easy to do that. It's easy to curse. It's easy to say something sleazy and crazy and gross or obnoxious to get people's attention. Like, wow. And he said, when you start going down that hole, and piling that sort of thing up. And I'm paraphrasing. This is the speech that he gave to me. And you start to pile those things up. Well, then where's the end? Where's the top? First is going to be talking about this, and then eventually, how is it going to be better? He said in his own way how he knew that there were other colors inside that I could use. And then he explained to me about the films, about the films of old, and how the directors and the writers of those movies were using the language, the words that their characters were speaking and the images that they were using as a creative way to reflect back the things that they were seeing or witnessing or wanted to comment on sociologically or politically, but not in a way that was going to, in this instance, that was going to offend somebody or shock somebody in such a way that you would get their attention that way. He said, "We're not going to do that. You're way too smart. You're way too creative. That is not channeling light through you." Jerry's God-fearing, still is, was back then. He says, "You're not channeling light through you, even though we're these dark creatures, or these dark characters. We're not doing that. There's a different sort of light that we're going to bring through." And I started thinking about it. And of course, at first I was like, whatever. Jerry only. And then as I was thinking about it, something just clicked. And I said, and it took a while, but it made sense, and it makes sense. And I'm so glad for that. I'm so glad for that. And Jerry only taught me that. And of course, I came kicking and screaming to it because I'm a stubborn fool that was so caught up in myself that I didn't even know it. And there was nobody around me to tell me that. Might be some of you out there like that. All right. So one more time. Thank you very much, everybody. If you're watching and you are doing the chat thing, now is the time. If you have a question, throw it out now so that I can land this thing. In the meantime, to everybody that has already purchased a ticket for this Saturday for the performance that I'm going to do at 3 p.m. live online, thank you very much. Go to officialmichaelgraves.com for the ticket link, and yeah, and let's do this. I will see you on Saturday. When will I come to Brazil again? I'm going to come to Brazil soon. Like I said, South American promoters. I just read. I don't know if Brazilian promoters have, but yeah, I know I'll be in Mexico soon. Oh, this just in. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in April. Very exciting. All right, what does 1119 mean? It is a long story, but I'll give you the short version of the longer story. 1119. When I was younger, all sorts of crazy things used to happen to me. Not so much anymore. Every now and again. But so 1119, I used to have these like sleep paralysis things start happening to me when I was younger, and it happens to a lot of people. And I would like wake up, but I wouldn't be awake. I would become conscious that I was awake, but I couldn't move. I could look around, but I couldn't move. one night, I woke up and I remember floating above I could see myself. Like I remember I was like on my back, like, and I could see myself in my bed sleeping. And I caught a glimpse of the clock radio that was right next to me. And it said 11:19. It was 1119. And I was like, oh my God, I could see the clock. Oh my God. And then it was over. But 1119 is a number then that I've seen it all my life in crazy ways. Yeah, like 1119. I'll give you a crazy story about when Damien Eccles and I were writing back and forth to one another, and we were writing about numerology and angel numbers and mathematics and like sacred geometry, stuff like that. And I was looking at a letter of his one day, or I had a wristband. I had a wristband when we were doing the Almost Home tour, and on it had Damien's safekeeping, like his prison number, and it was Damien Eccles' prison number was 931. 931, and I know it's kind of a crazy thing perhaps to do, but 931. I remember looking at it and going, 3 1s and a 9, 3 1s and a 9, 3 1s and a 9, 1119, 3 1s and a 9. So I was that kind of blew. It's things like that, just weird stuff like that. I don't know. So there you go. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. I've told that story before. Portugal. I would love to come to Portugal again. I've been there. Wonderful place. All right, everybody. I think that will do it for now. I'll be back on here at some point soon. If you have any sort of leads or anything that you want to ask or tell, Michael at officialmichaelgraves.com is the email. Michael at officialmichaelgraves.com. Some of you have reached out on my call to action. Anybody know an animator? I need to find an animator. Somebody that can animate things. An animator. Here's a call for an animator. Who knows how to animate? You need an animator. Michael at officialmichaelgraves.com if you're an animator. Two leads. Awesome. All right. Thank you. Thanks. Fitness through Balance LLC Strength. Nice. Man. I'll talk to you. Oh, boy. I'll tell you about my physical challenges someday. Till then, onward. I'm not going to complain. What happened here? Can't get that off the screen. All right, so Michael at officialmichaelgraves.com. Send all the booking stuff. Send anything that has to do with show leads or private shows, speeches, breakdancing events, skateboarding contests, NASCAR races, to booking at officialmichaelgraves.com. What the hell is Michael Graves talking about? NASCAR races. Just saying. Booking at officialmichaelgraves.com. Follow me at Radio Deadly on X. officialmichaelgraves.com. Get your tickets and everything for the Saturday event. Thanks, everybody. God bless you.